Christy, and this is MamieGraceDesigns. I'm so glad you're here today. I have so much to share with you. I just returned from my very first yarn festival, Nash Yarn Fest, last weekend in Nashville, Tennessee. It was fabulous. It was everything I hoped a yarn festival would be and more. Highlight was that I got to meet Kristen from Where We Knit. I've been following her since maybe last year around this time. I'm not sure when she started her channel. I might have started following her. It wasn't her very first episode, so shortly after. But anyway, you know, when you meet somebody that you just kind of idolize, it's a fangirl moment, and I had such a great time. I accidentally ran into her, and I mean, I've been looking for her because I knew she said she was going, so I kept my eye out for her all day. And then there was a great little musical act on, and I went to video him, and right when I was going to video him, I was like, is that Kristen? And she was videoing them, so we were thinking alike, which I think we do. Think alike. I think we have similar tastes. We have dogs with the same names. We're both teachers. Anyway, I love everything she makes. So she's a more experienced knitter than I am, so I learned from her, and I love that. So had a great time, and I have so much to share. I took a ton of video. I might have taken too much video. I've sped it up so you don't have to watch every single thing. But so what I did when I got there, I was by myself. So I videoed the whole, like, departing Little Rock and everything, and my stops along the way. And then at the festival, going to dinner the first night, which I had a marvelous dinner. And when I got to the festival, I got there early because it was bad weather, but I went the night before. I drove past the fairgrounds to make sure I could figure out how to get there, and saw that they had covered parking. And I really thought maybe that was just for the vendors or exhibitors, but it wasn't. So I got there early and had covered parking because the radar was red most of the day. They kept coming over the loudspeaker saying, we're watching the weather for you. If there's a problem, we'll let you know, and trust us that we do have a plan, because there was threat of tornadoes. In fact, my husband called at 2:00 in the afternoon, and I thought, uh-oh, if he's calling me, it must be really bad. And it was. But we were fine. Nothing happened. Everybody's safe. It was a great event. And it was a good day to be inside knitting because it wasn't pretty out. You didn't want to be outside. So when I got there, I took video of everything. I walked through the entire place and took video. Then I put my video camera away and I went and shopped. And after I shopped, there was a photographer there that you could have your photo taken. So I did. It was a 5-minute session. It wasn't long, but I went ahead and did that. And she was the sweetest lady. She'd come from either Connecticut or Massachusetts, Northeast, which is a long way to come. I met quite a few people who had traveled from both coasts to be there, which I thought was pretty amazing. I drove 6 hours. Seemed so easy compared to what other folks did. So then I shopped, and that was wonderful. And then after I had spent more than I planned to spend, bought more than I planned to buy, which I think is probably par for the course, I went and sat down. They had a large seating area, and I just sat next to two ladies I didn't know, and we became fast friends. One had on a raspberry beret, and when they played her song, she stood up and danced to it. She was really cute. I should have gotten a picture. And next year, I'm learning, things to learn for next year, notes to take. So I sat there and I knitted, and I enjoyed. They had every 30 minutes, they had a different speaker or a musical act or something that either educated you or entertained you. And they did door prize drawings every 30 minutes, and it was lovely. The food trucks outside were fortunately a little bit, you got a little wet, and the lines were long. I packed cutie oranges, and doggone, I forgot to take them with me, because that's always a nice, easy snack. But I just had the absolute best time. Got to meet Kristen and her friend Rihanna, and then she very kindly invited me to go to brunch with her the next morning, with her and Rihanna, and actually some other folks. So I got to meet a lot of wonderful people, and I did go to the wrong location of the breakfast spot. That was, I ate by myself, and I was going, boy, she sure is late. She sure is late. And then I looked at her text again, and it said the street it was on. I looked it up. I was like, oh, I'm on the wrong street. I ate real quick, and I hurried over to where they were, and I still had plenty of time to visit with them. And I got a picture. Kristen, got to send me that picture. So I am going to show you my goodies. I'm gonna jump into some of the video let you see everything that was there. And then I will come back and I will talk about what booths I visited, what purchases I made, and I think that'll be it. It's going to be a pretty long video. Okay. Almost forgot to tell you what I'm wearing today. So I'm in my daughter's room today because I got my carpets cleaned, and boy did I need it. I have big dogs and they make big messes. Okay, so today I have on my Ilha sweater by Orlane. Sucche, I think is how you say it. I'll put it up on the screen. I made this a while ago, and you know, I've said it many times. I didn't keep a knitter's notebook. I wasn't on Ravelry, so I can't tell you anything about it. I don't think this is Emma's yarn, but I don't remember who it is. And although I love this color, I have since had my colors done, and this is not a good color for me, but I love my sweater and I will continue to wear it regardless of the fact that it doesn't make me look the best I could look. Have no idea what size I made, but I know I did not do a gauge swatch. Therefore, I know I followed the designer's directions, and I used a US 6 for the body and a US 4 for the ribbing. You know, I like my 3/4 sleeves. I did 3/4 sleeve. I'm pretty sure this is a 4-ply or a fingering weight that's like maybe 25% nylon. I mean, 15-20% nylon, and the rest wool. I wish I could remember what yarn it is, but it feels wonderful. That's a guessing game. Don't know, but I like this pattern so much that I used it. I used this part of it when I made my very first baby blanket that I kind of freelanced on my own. I would like to say I designed it, but except that I used this design, which was Orlane Sucche, and so I didn't really design it myself, but I adapted her pattern here and made a baby blanket out of it. And it was it was for my friend Kendra's first granddaughter, and it tickled me because her daughter-in-law just loved it. Took pictures of her baby in the hospital with it. Now that warmed my heart. So, okay, that is what I'm wearing today. Good morning. It is 6:30. I've been gone from my house for about 40 minutes. I had to stop and get gas, and then I actually had to stop at the post office and drop off a bill for work. And now I'm on my way to Nash Yarn Fest. I am super excited. I am making one stop in Memphis on the way for work, but after that it's Nashville or bust. I do like getting on the road early because I beat a lot of traffic. I didn't have to worry about any rush hour traffic leaving Little Rock, and hopefully there's less 18-wheelers. I-40 from Little Rock to Memphis is like the worst stretch, I think, in the country. It has wrecks. They close it seems like daily. And it's just so bad. So hopefully I'll get through there safely, and then it'll be easy sailing to Nashville. Thanks for joining me this morning. I'm in Kingston Springs, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville. And there's this cute little yarn shop that I'm going to stop in. We'll see how it looks. Kingston Springs is not very big. Here we are. Local yarn shop, You and Company.
For the shop. This is the shop colorway.
Oh,
You and Company.
got some sparkly in there too.
Mm-hmm. And this.
So where do they do it? Do they have their own sheep, or do they just dye it?
She buys the yarn. She's an indie dyer,
Okay.
and she's in Brighton, Tennessee, which is between here and Memphis.
Okay.
And she also dyes this one for me. This is the Kingston Springs colorway.
Oh, love it. That's pretty. Those greens and blues.
And And she does this one, which is the Harpeth River
Oh, I saw that. I
colorway.
came over that. It's pretty. This is an area. It's amazing how it quickly starts to get hilly and river. Lots of water.
That's why I like. I'm from Upper East Tennessee,
Okay.
so when I first moved to Nashville, I was like, "Ew, it's so flat."
Yeah.
But then I came out here,
Here and it's not.
Like, no, it's not that bad.
I have my friend. Her daughter lives in Clarksville. And is that anywhere near where you're from?
No,
No.
I'm like Upper East Tennessee.
Is that up where the racetrack is?
Jonesboro.
Oh, okay. I don't know Tennessee.
Oh, okay. No, it's almost in North Carolina.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so tell me again, this was the bobbins of plaid.
They have new colorways now, but when they first started making being, they sent a bag of all their colorways, so they've added.
And then I love this shawl, throw, blanket, whatever you want to call it.
It is called something.
And it feels so good because that plaid is very woolly in the skein, but this feels so soft. I love that.
It's based on an inkjet cartridge.
I love it.
CMYK.
Okay, I love that. Is that cyan, yellow? I don't know. Yeah, I have to get that for my work, for my printer.
Cyan, yellow, magenta, and black.
Okay. Your shop is so cute. I love this building. It's obviously historic.
It was built in 1917. It was the first bank in Kingston Springs.
Oh, how neat. Are these ceiling tiles original?
Yeah.
Tin? Are those the tin tiles?
Press 10.
That is so neat. Your little lights look cute. This is just darling. I'm working real hard not to get you in the video. You must have redone the floors because they look great.
Well, I rented the building, and when it had been sitting here forever. When we started renting it, it had concrete floors.
Oh, wow.
But the landlord, he had gotten some kind of deal on this prefab hardwood.
Well, it looks good.
Yeah, he had it in his barn. He was like, "You want me to put that in for you?" I said, "Oh yeah."
So the last shelf I showed you had Juniper Moon Farms yarn, and that's what this poncho is made out of. And so I bought some to make my very own. I'm doing a blue, dark blue, light blue theme. I'm eating at a place called The Optimist that a girlfriend recommended. It's right down here next to the river, and there is weather moving in. It is super windy, but this should be delicious. And it was delicious. I highly recommend if you're in this area. My dessert was to die for: chocolate cake with vanilla ice cream and chocolate sauce. Hey, this is my cute little Airbnb for the weekend, and it's just serving me perfectly. I really actually enjoy it. I just woke up, so everything's a little messy. The view is nothing special, but I'm glad to have a balcony. And it's nice temperatures. It's not cold, it's not hot, but there are storms moving in. So it is the morning of Nash Yarn Fest. I'm super excited. Had a okay night's sleep. I don't love the mattress of the Airbnb I'm in. The Airbnb itself is great, just the mattress wasn't great. I got here, doors open at 10. I left my place at 8:30, and I'm really glad I did because I have covered parking. It is raining and storming all day. Could be tornadoes, hail, and I got covered parking. So I think it was worth getting here early. I just been sitting here watching YouTube videos and knitting. I did help the guy next to me pull his truck out because it was so big he could barely, I had to stand there and tell him, you have space, keep going. And 10 minutes to go. I'm gonna finish this row. I'm gonna go stand at the doors. Let's do this. Darn, I was hoping I could get across without my umbrella. I'm going back to get my umbrella. That's a long line to get in. You can see the lovely covered parking. I just think that's a rarity. Can't believe they have that for their fairgrounds. That's so great. I did not get one of those. Okay, Sarah, I do have a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get your information.
Say hi.
Hi.
This is my friend from standing in line. It is called MamieGraceDesigns.
Mamie.
My
Grace-
grandmother.
Yeah, my father's sister was named. Mamie.
Okay, yeah. She's really Mary Ellen, but her little sister couldn't say Mary. They came out Mamie, and so it stuck.
So Mamie Grace
Designs.
Designs.
And it's a capital M, capital G, capital D with no spaces.
I won't go there, but
Okay.
my friend will.
Okay. You're a good man to come with her.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
else you're trying to limit her.
No, I don't.
No,
think she
good. Oh, you're a good man.
does. That's whatever she wants.
I can't bring my husband to this. Well, he wouldn't come, but he would go, you already have enough yarn.
I collect model railroads,
Okay, so
So-
you have, yeah, okay.
so there's never. You
That's
only
right.
need one more. You never have enough.
Where are y'all from?
Chicago. Just
Okay.
Outside Chicago.
Okay, where?
Like Palatine area.
Okay.
Arlington Park, where they're going to put the new football field.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The Bears are moving there, I guess.
Did not know that. I have an aunt and uncle that live in Evanston.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then I have a dog breeder that used to live in Libertyville.
Yeah.
And that was lovely. I went up there to visit one time. Took my dog.
I think I know your dog breeder too. I forgot her
Olga?
name. Casey or no?
No, all the Black Russian Terriers. Hey Casey, I'm Christy, and I just want to know about your bang, because you made the bang out cardigan that was for the festival. Tell me what you love about it.
I love the fit. I love the yarn I chose and the
Which is,
combination
what's
of
the yarn?
the Rowan Kid Silk Mohair held with the Rowan Felted Tweed.
Okay.
And just had a really fun experience
And
with
show me the sleeve. Yeah, I love that detail. And then you were telling me that you love the wide button band.
it. Yes, that's right. I love the wide button band. I think it presents really well, like when you're in a Zoom meeting or whatever. It just lays really nicely.
And that little
the
detail
little wiggle
next
waggle,
to, yes.
zigzag
Yeah.
detail. Is
And your buttons are pretty.
kind of special.
Yeah, it's hard to find. Those are nice big buttons, and it's hard to find a reason to use a big button, but a wide button band lets you.
Well, I got it
Yeah.
at Joann's. So
Oh, good for you.
While I can.
Yeah, I know, I'm so sad.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh,
fiber booth. Everything is so cute. Look at this cowl. It feels so good.
Here, I want to show you some.
Cute. I mean, they have great, the colors and the styles really are speaking to me. The animal shawl pins are killing me. Look at those cute buttons. Oh, a stitch marker kitty. Who doesn't need a stitch marker kitty with kitty markers? Oh, love that. Oh, I hate to see these hangers stretching these beautiful sweaters out. Oh, I love that bottom trim. Okay, I'm here with Pam. I don't even know your last name.
Powers.
Pam Powers, who has Ikigai Fiber Company. And I just love her booth. I took lots of video of it. But Pam, tell me, how did you get into knitting?
How did I get into knitting? So I started out as a designer about 20 years ago. So I did magazine work. I worked for Interweave and Vogue and all those things.
Wow.
I did a couple books along the way. I designed kits for Craftsy and worked for yarn companies. And then it became kind of non-lucrative to be a designer. So I started selling kits. I started bringing in yarn and selling kits at retail shows. And then kind of the next step from that is to become the yarn company. So about, let's see, in 2019, right before COVID, I, went to Peru and ordered this huge amount of yarn and brought it in, and it was wildly successful for the last quarter of 2019 and even the first quarter of 2020, and then the bottom kind of fell out. But we've done, we did great. We were able to do retail and all that, and the business has really grown progressively since then. We have a lot of, we're in a lot of yarn stores. We do a lot of the retail shows, and we do the wholesale show also.
Well, I'm glad that you survived that.
We did survive, yes.
You have an interesting background. There was a lady who posted recently in something that I'm online, I can't remember, but she said, she was obviously an older woman, and she said that when she was younger and knitting, you never knew who the designers were because everybody worked for big corporations. So the only way you could get their designs was through magazines or whatever, but you never knew who the designer was.
Yes.
She's like, you ladies don't understand what a privilege it is to know these designers and follow them and they get to benefit from all their wonderful designs. So that's neat.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you get to, because you have all kinds of makers background.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Well, what is your favorite piece that you have in the booth?
Oh my gosh, that's difficult.
You have a lot of fabulous things.
Difficult. Yeah. I don't know. I really like. So this is Amy Opie's piece.
Which one?
This element scarf.
Oh yeah, I love that too.
Yeah, I just love the simplicity of it. I mean, it's not.
I like the variation of the different stripes, different colors.
And it's just got a lot of like color pops with neutrals, and just the way all the different depths of the stripes and everything. So that's Amy right there sitting in that chair.
Oh yeah, okay. Amy helped me earlier. She fits in that chair perfectly.
She is a great designer. She is an amazing color work designer, which I really like. I would never think to put all these colors together.
I wouldn't.
And she just kind of knows what to do when it comes to color. So.
Yeah. Does she have graphic design background or artist or something? Just natural ability.
A really good color person. So yeah, that's one of the things It's her jam.
Yeah.
I can put like maybe 3 colors together and then I'm done. But she can just like pull all these things together, and it's fantastic.
Well, sometimes I need a simple palette, but I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
She underestimates her color.
Well, what's your favorite thing in the booth?
My favorite thing to do. I gotta.
Your scarf was her favorite.
Okay, so you're gonna laugh. Like I love the crochet bunting,
Oh, yeah.
and I love the little home.
I do too. That little vignette. I was telling Pam that it's such a charming. It invites you in. Yeah. And I think I want to make that rainbow pillow for my niece. My niece. Okay. I remember Liam. Kristen. That's right, because I'm Christy.
Right.
And Kraeo. Just name your business. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Kraeo. And y'all are from Chicago. So tell me, how did you get into knitting?
Oh, I got into knitting when I was in grad school. I started knitting. I got pregnant. It sounds weird, but I did. I got pregnant when I was in grad school, and I started knitting. I was like nesting, and I became like obsessed with it. Yeah, and then I started making patterns. It was like the heyday of Etsy, when Etsy was awesome.
Okay.
I had like 2000.
When it was really handmade?
Yeah, exactly. And so I started selling my hand knit goods to like shops all around the country.
Wow.
And then I got super burnt out doing that, and I started dyeing yarn, and I loved it. It was like the best meld of like, I'm a painter by trade, so it was like the best meld of like painting and fiber.
Playing with color. Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, I loved it.
What is your favorite color combo, or like sample piece, or what's your favorite?
Yeah, my favorite combo is I am any kind of orange and blue color combo person.
Okay.
Yes, I love it. It's wild.
What are the names of these colors?
This is apple taffy, and this is
Dreamsicle. Dreamsicle. Okay, I like that. Makes me think of a push pop.
Right? I know.
Yeah, yeah. I can taste it just saying it. Well, I can't wait to make my new little top with your mohair.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'll be sure and post.
Thank you.
And send you a picture.
Sounds great.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Liam, I didn't get to say anything to you. I'm sorry. You helped me pick out my colors.
Yeah.
You were instrumental. Kristen was like on a break.
She's the brains of the operation.
You want to share anything?
No.
Do you knit?
He does knit a little bit.
Okay.
Yes.
I did a test knit for a lady who lives in California, and it's my very first one. And a guy named Steve wears sweaters, maybe is his handle on Instagram.
Okay.
He made he made it like in a third of the time of me. I don't know about anybody else, but he was so fast, and it was the best looking sample of anybody. And then it didn't fit him right, so he gave it to his wife. I know. I was like, "You're such a good man."
That is so good. That's our hope. Hopes and dreams.
Got a long way to go before you get
What do you knit right now?
hats to scarves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most advanced.
Yeah, we talked about the hats earlier, but as soon as you said hat, I looked at your hat, and that's when I showed you the Dom Chi thing. Yeah.
Love it.
Now let's talk about all the things I got at the festival. Well, when you walked in the door, they gave you this, and it was a very smooth check-in process. I had my ticket in my wallet on my phone, so I just showed them that. They scanned it. I had a little moment of panic standing in line. I was like, "Ooh, where is my ticket?" And I had put it in my wallet ahead of time. I didn't know I could be so organized. Also gave you this, which has all of the designers you can go back through and look at. You know, if you couldn't remember a company's name or whatever, everything's in here. Their websites, all that, which is great. I'm sure that's normal, but as a first-time attender, I was like, "Oh, I love that." As I was doing my walkthrough, I noticed these darling necklaces that are little wool discs. I don't know how they make those. Little buttons, like wool buttons. And then They're on a thicker piece of wool. Let's see if you can see that. I hope that's focusing. I know I have to block my face for you to be able to see it well. Hopefully that worked. But they had all kinds of these that were so cute. They were a hot commodity. When I finally went back and went shopping, there weren't a lot to choose from. But I love this color. And I was like, oh, well, if I'm not wearing something that I made, I can still wear some wool. So I thought they were so cute. Another shop, this is Jenny the Potter, and they're actually from Minneapolis, because Rionda, that was with Kristen from where we knit, said that they're located in Minneapolis. She knew exactly who I was talking about, but I'll cut that out. I think this is just the cutest mug. And I even think her signature stamp on the bottom is cute. She's got great style. I'm sorry, my dogs are barking. I don't know what they're barking at. Okay, first fun thing. There was a company there called Rowan Tree Travel. They gave out these cool bags. And I think that looks like a shepherd with sheep on a ball of yarn, but it's supposed to be like the world, like, you know, woolly travel of the world. I love that. I think that's a cool and a really neat bag to keep, which I will be looking into their travels. I'm so passionate about knitting. I just could do it 24/7. If I could keep my eyes open later at night, I would knit later at night. I'm an early bird. I don't make it very late at night. But I would love to travel the world with other kindred spirits and just learn. One disappointing thing about the festival is they didn't have any animals. I was so looking forward to putting my hands on some sheep, and there were none because of all the storms. They just didn't bring them. And it's understandable. It poured all day. No one would have wanted to go out there to get wet. Well, I might have. No one else would have. And if they had animals like my dogs, they would have been scared to death, because my dogs shake every time it thunders. Okay, I did go with a list. See, Kristen from Where We Knit did this whole episode on Rhinebeck, talking about how she goes with a list of things. Like she might have this yarn she wants to find something to coordinate with, and she takes a sample of that yarn, or she goes with her patterns or whatever. So I went with whole patterns. So I had an intention of finding mohair to go with this pattern. Latilda, the Rita blouse. And it's mohair held double. So I'm planning to hold this on top and marl this together on the bottom. And I think that will be super cute. Hopefully that's focusing. I love it. And this was my favorite yarn takeaway from the festival. I loved the yarn that this company made. It's called Kraeo, and I did an interview you'll see later in the video. Kraeo, and that's for Kristen. Her middle name's Ray, Ray, Kraeo. I don't know where the O, I don't remember what the O was, but which I liked because my sister's middle name is Ray, also R-A-E. Okay, so I loved their yarn. Went back, I walked past them when I videoed, and then I came back and I looked at them again later, and then I came back again and I bought this, and I went and sat down and knitted for a while, and then I came back again and I interviewed them. One nice thing about towards the end of the festival, people had really cleared out, and all the booths, it was just the owners sitting there hanging out, and it was a great time to go and do interviews or spend more time one-on-one and get their total attention. That was great. I loved that. So I did 2 interviews. I did Kraeo with Kristen and Liam, and I did Pam Powers at Ikigai. Okay, so let's see. That's that pattern. I went with the intention of finding some cotton yarn or a linen blend to make the Tulsa tank. And I was very disappointed that there was no cotton yarn. And I sent a message to MDK, Modern Daily Knitting, who put the festival on Instagram or whatever. I was like, y'all, that was a fabulous festival. It was my first one. I had no expectations. Well, I had a little bit of expectations, but the bar is set so high for anything else I might attend, because I think they just did a fabulous job. I said, one thing to consider for next year is I was specifically looking for some cotton yarns because I live in Arkansas. Our summers are hot and humid and long. And there was no cotton yarn. I kept asking and nobody had seen. I didn't find any at all. Now I did find some linen blends. So I went to Magpie Fibers and I loved their yarn. And they are from Maryland, I believe. And this is 65% silk, 35% cotton. And I got 2 different colors. I don't know if you can tell it on here, but these are 2 different colors. And I plan to marl them together. And this feels wonderful. And it'll be a good summer fabric. So happy with that. I mean, I was happy with everything. Okay. Another top that I went with the intention of looking for yarn was the Sucche top. I think this is a nice summer tank. And I believe I purchased this raw silk to make this one. This was a booth called Tess, and she is from Maine. And her 74-year-old mother still does all the dyeing of their yarn. And she doesn't skein it like everyone else. She leaves it loose. Like this was a skein of hers that I bought. And this is how it was hung. It was hung like this. So it's not wrapped because she said she thinks you can see the colors better. And she's right. You can. When a skein's all wound up like this, you can't see the colors as well. Especially if it's multicolored, you know. This is not multicolored, but man, can you feel how good it feels. This is cashmere and silk. This one was not a bargain, but it sure does feel wonderful. This was a bargain. This is 800 yards of raw silk. And I believe this pattern calls for like 745 yards. So it was like perfect. And it's all one piece. I won't have any ends to wind in. So this was a bargain. I think this was $30 for 800 yards. I'm like, wow. And I liked meeting that woman, and her mom did it and she does it, and it's family business. It was neat. That's the kind of connections I love making. So I talked about Ikigai. That was my favorite booth of the show because it was so cute. This pillow she had on display there, and their yarn is so soft. Oh, it's because it's 50% baby alpaca. Let's see. And 50% easy wash merino. Made in Peru. Okay. It feels so fabulous. Well, Pam is the owner. Amy was there helping her work it. And I bought this so I could make this pillow for my niece. That's my plan. Anyway, they've got all these cute home goods that you could make. I love their colors that they use on their granny squares. And I'm going to make some kind of a sweater from this pink. What weight is this? 135 yards for 50 grams. I'm not sure what weight that is. I'm going to say maybe DK, but I'm not positive. Was my favorite booth. Did an interview with Pam, and Amy got in on it a little bit too. So love that company. My local yarn shop does carry their yarn. And Pam knew exactly. I said yarn candy. She goes, she hadn't ordered from me in forever. So I'm going to go talk to Candy and say, I will buy some of this yarn if you will order it. So love that company. And it was really neat visiting with Pam. She has great taste. Loved everything she made. So not everything there was yarn. I found a company that made sewing patterns. They had really cute stuff. They had come from, the mom was from New York and her daughter came to help her from California. So like I said, coast to coast. I'm taking sewing lessons on Tuesday nights with one of my besties. And so I'm going to be using this pattern. I'm excited about that. Another non-knitting thing that they had. This was one of the speakers. Her name was Natalie Channon. her company is called Alabama Channon, and she has the School of Making. And this is one of her books that I bought. And her story was fascinating. She started in the 80s with fashion design. She worked in that industry where she was overseas when NAFTA had first been passed and American companies were just starting to ship or have all of their production done overseas because it was cheaper. And she said she saw so many atrocities, she just couldn't stay in that field, which is horrible to think about. But she's been in the fashion industry since that time. And she makes actually couture clothing now that is made from t-shirts and uses quilting stitches. And the whole story of how she got into that is fascinating, and has revitalized the quilting industry. That's my words. Those are not her words. That's how I took it. You know, she started this little bitty company in rural Alabama, right south of where it meets the Tennessee line, and did something no one else was doing, and then made books of the sewing stitches because quilting was kind of a dying art. People don't quilt anymore. So she's doing an online course on May 28th that I'm signed up for. Now, she also had patterns. I bought this skirt pattern. Hopefully you can see that well. And this pattern was $28. It was not expensive. But it's only the skirt shape. It's not going to come out looking like her stuff. Now they had kits you could purchase. Like I could make a skirt that would look like this, and they would sell the skirt already cut out, and it had fabric that had been printed where you would then put on the pieces and stitch them on. Well, those kits were like $500. So, like I said, it's couture. And I chose not to purchase that. I got the $28 pattern. But I'm signed up for that course, and it was like $128. And they will send you a kit with it so you can practice the stitches. So you get a little kit with, I think, a hoop and a fabric and needle and thread and everything ahead of time. May 28th. Alabama Channon School of Making. Fascinating company. Fascinating woman. And she was there. I thought it was neat that she takes the time to come to a not very large event and talk about her art and what she does. Visiting with some of the vendors was interesting because one lady told me, this was at Magpie, she said she prefers the smaller festivals because you really do get to visit with people. She's like, when you go to the great big ones, like what's the one in Seattle? Is that Flock? That you don't get to have that one-on-one interaction. So I thought that was interesting, and that was good for me to hear because that'll help me choose my festivals in the future. Like I thought I kind of might want to go to Flock, but maybe I don't. Maybe I want to stick to the small ones. I do still want to go to Rhinebeck. You know, that's kind of like the mecca of your knitting world. But I want to go to India Untangled, and all those little festivals that are right around happen at the same time as Rhinebeck, but kind of surround the area and are small. Let's see. Okay, on my way to Nashville, I stopped in, well, I had to make a stop in Memphis for work. So I looked at the map ahead of time, and I thought maybe there's a cute knitting store in Memphis that I need to visit. And there was not. Disappointed. But when I put it on Nashville and expanded, there was this little town right outside of Nashville, 30 minutes maybe. And it had a knitting shop. And when I looked at their website, there was an interview with the owner, and she's like, Kingston Springs has been really good to us. And I thought, I'm going to stop into Kingston Springs. That sounds cute. It was 5 or 10 minutes off the highway, nothing big. So I have a lot of footage from that. And this is the yarn that I purchased at U and Company, as in EWE, like the sheep, a U. And this is the Juniper Moon Farms, and I've always heard about this yarn, but I've never been able to put my hands on it. And this is, it feels fabulous. It's this is a cotton wool blend. And I got blue and white, and I'm going to, I purchased, I think I got one dark blue, and she's going to have to ship it to me because she didn't have it. So I'm doing a dark blue, light blue, and a white mix. And I'm gonna make the poncho that she had in her store, which I also put pictures of in the video. And it felt fabulous, big and squishy, and ooh, just wanted to keep it on. I loved it. Hers was very bright and colorful, and I loved that, but would I wear that? I think I will definitely wear one that's blue and white, so that's why I went the blue and white theme. Okay, I think that's, oh, okay. My last segment, I asked for y'all's help in choosing a name, and I was like, am I going to call it the OMG? Oh my gosh, I have to tell you about. Well, I had a viewer who suggested I call it the BTW. Oh, by the way, and I think that's a great name for it. So that's what I'm going with. Thank you for that suggestion. So this is my by the way segment. Things I can't live without or I love, whatever. This is something I learned about from another YouTuber that I follow. Allie Makes Everything. And I drink tea every morning. I do not drink coffee. I drink chai tea usually. And I make a latte with almond milk. So I brew my tea. I add some real maple syrup to it that I get from Vermont, from a leaf peeping trip I did up there. I now order it from them, a little small family business. And then I add some almond milk. Sometimes I froth it, sometimes I don't. Well, Allie talked about her Earl Grey tea that was so good, and it was from Kingston. And I ordered it, and it's the best Earl Grey I've ever had. It's got hints of vanilla in it, and it's got some, little dried flowers in it. I mean, it's amazing. So now I order it monthly. And I started with 1 bag a month. Now I'm up to 2 bags a month. My order just came today. And I don't have a discount on this, but Allie does. So if you go follow Allie Makes Everything, she has an affiliate link where it will get you some percentage off. I can't remember what. 20% maybe, 10%, something like that. And, this is a product with a purchase. So John Keats, it says, John Keats is dead and this tea is about tuberculosis. If you keep reading, the sentence will make sense. Keats & Co. is meticulously sourced, expertly blended tea from the good store, a better way to get better products. We are more than just a top shelf tea brand, and our name hides the secret. Founded by vertical video sensations and NYT best-selling authors Hank and John Green, all of the Good Store's products have 3 things in common. Our products are ethically sourced from suppliers that prioritize fair labor practices. These practices are designed to delight, and 100% of all the profit goes to charity. So there's more. You can read more. You can read it on your own. But I highly recommend Keats & Co. Bluefields Earl Grey. It's the best Earl Grey I've ever had. So now I alternate my chai tea latte with a London Fog latte. And I don't have to add any vanilla because it's got enough vanilla flavor in it. Did they add vanilla to it? No, but it has such a great flavor that I don't have to add vanilla. No. Other Earl Grey teas, if I'm making a London Fog, I add some vanilla. I add my maple syrup and I add my almond milk. With this, I don't have to. It is great. So by the way, don't want to miss it. Okay, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed all that, learned about it. I hope you'll want to go to Nash Yarn Fest. It was amazing. I stayed in a little Airbnb. It was, 5 minutes to the fairgrounds. It was so easy. It was not expensive. There's so much good eating, and I got to go to a mall, which I've forgotten what it's like to shop in a mall that is thriving. Our malls here in Little Rock are terrible, and usually people get shot. So it was amazing. It was a high end. They had Couture, they had Chanel, they had Burberry, they had, they had high end shops that I usually have to go to Dallas to see. I mean, Nashville's like a Dallas. So anyway, I got to go to Le Labo. I love their perfume. And a girlfriend introduced me to them last year about this time. And got some more Le Labo. And went to the shoe department at Nordstrom's. That always makes me happy because, a shoe always fits and never makes your butt look big. One of the reasons I love them. A good shoe and a good bag. Well, that's it for today, y'all. Thanks for joining me, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon.